Okay, so today on Morning Mindset and Mindset Matters, we're going to kind of do a two-part series today and tomorrow. And really this overarching theme that we're going to unpack is the space in between, okay? And how I would really preface this is kind of this whole concept of how do we let the space in between where we are and where we're going inspire us and not completely terrify us. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do I let the space in between where I am and where I'm going inspire me and evoke hope and faith and courage, as opposed to completely terrify me and worry me and stir up fear and doubt and all the things. And so my answer to how we're going to do this is very extremely different depending upon who you are and where you are in your journey, okay? Because there's likely one of two camps that you're sitting in. Either number one, you are clear on what you want. You're clear on where there is, okay? Even in the midst of all the uncertainty, you're clear on where you want to be. You're clear on your dreams. You're clear on what's most important to you, but you don't know how to get there, right? Like, the manifestation process seems really big, and it seems hard, and it seems impossible, and you've never done it before. And so you need some direction on how to let the space in between you not terrify you simply because you just don't know how. Then there's the other group of people, right? The other camp of people who would say, I'm not even there. I don't even know where there is. I don't know how to even see where I could possibly be going. The affairs of this world are mind-boggling to me, and so it's hard for me to even consider how I'm going to get to the end of the day, let alone get to there. I am stuck. I'm just stuck, and I'm in some doubt mode, I'm in fear mode, and I'm in worry mode, and so that space in between is even hard from now until the end of the day, okay? Because here's really the two answers. Here's how we are going to let the space in between inspire us and not terrify us. The answer to that is, number one, you're either going to get really loud. I mean, we are going to crank up the volume in your life, or to my other camp, you're going to get quiet. And I mean really, really quiet and very still. Quite the juxtaposition. So today, this is going to be for the people who you would say, I am rather clear. I'm rather clear on where I want to be. I'm clear on where I want to go. I'm clear on what's most important to me. I'm clear on what's driving me and why. Like, I am clear. To you today, we're going to crank up the volume, and I mean freaking crank it, right? The Bible even tells us to be as bold as lions, okay? It tells us that do not have a spirit of fear, but of power and love and of a sound mind. I mean, there is a proactive state that we need to step into, and I'm going to encourage you, and I'm going to show you how to do that today, okay? So here's the reality. Whatever has your attention has your life. Whatever has your attention has your life, okay? Well, how do we determine then what has our attention? Well, let's say you and I are having a conversation, okay? And we're talking about whatever, the weather. We're talking about your dreams. I don't talk about the weather, let's be honest. We're talking about your dreams. We're talking about where you're going. We're talking about why you're going there. We're talking about all the things. And we're pretty much in a really, really, really good heated conversation around like, oh, here's all the things that are possible. And then all of a sudden, over our shoulder, we hear a huge bang. What is that bang going to do? It's going to cause us to stop what we're doing and look over our shoulder at the loud noise, which proves whatever is loudest has our attention, and whatever has our attention has our life. Whatever is loudest, whatever is loudest in my life is what I'm going to give my attention to. This is why you have got to crank up the volume on what you want most. You have to crank up the volume in truth. You have to crank up the volume based upon where you're going and what you're manifesting and what you're bringing to this world, so that it has all of your attention, so that then it has all of your life. This is the power that I talk about in my book, Dream, I Dare You, which is set to release in like 2 months, y'all, by the way. This is the power of understanding how to get back into alignment and so laser clear on our dreams to awaken what's possible and to connect ourselves to heaven on earth, to get me focused on a higher level. I need to be setting my mind, setting my heart on something bigger and better and higher and stronger than my current circumstances, because when I continue to do that and I crank the volume on that sucker, guess what's going to have my attention? That means your responsibility every single day is not to tune into the news. It's not to be perusing mindlessly on social media. It's not to be talking with all the naysayers. It's not to be dabbling in conversations that are not progressive and moving you forward. It's not to start circling around in doubt and fear and worry and all of the things. Your responsibility, my responsibility, is to crank the volume. Here's how this looks real time. I'm really clear on where I want to go. I'm really clear on the impact that this book is going to have. I'm really clear on the Fire Starter program and our online community that we're building and our 6-week course and all the things. We're even getting ready to look at traveling again. I'm really clear on that, okay? But what's happened to me over these last couple of days is that my mind chatter and my levels of fear and worry and doubt and loneliness and even depression is starting to rise. And I can sense it and I can feel it, and I'm really in tune with it happening. And it wasn't until the other day that I drank my own Kool-Aid, picked up the Word of God, started reading my book again, and I said, wait a minute, I have to crank the volume in my life. And I started speaking out of my mouth where I'm going and why I'm going there. I started speaking over my children who they are and who God's created them to be. I started putting up my vision everywhere. I started writing my plans and the things that God's put in. I put them everywhere around me so I could see them. We started our day this morning crazy with some amazing, beautiful songs. The kids are dancing. I'm dancing, right? We stood up in our boldness. We started to declare with our mouths the actual truth. You have got to understand that in order to go where you've never been, you're going to have to crank up your volume of faith and hope and trust in the unseen. Trust that where heaven is where you want to be. Trust that your dreams that are maybe a year or 2 or 10 ahead of you, that you can start bringing them into the world around you. To trust that the problems that are going on around us, actually, they all have a solution if each of us could just crank the volume. Whatever you're committed to today, I want to be a voice of encouragement that tells you, do not bow your knee. Do not settle. Do not fall into the land of okay, fine, or good enough. Do not let your doubt put you into a state of disbelief. Do not let fear or worry get a foothold into your life to where you start giving so much attention to it that now it's louder than everything else. So many times people say to me, yeah, well, Julia, that sounds woo-woo. Like, let's get real. Have you turned it into the news? Have you seen what's going on in the world around you? Have you this? Have you that? Yeah, yes, I have. But the only reason that some people's worry and fear and doubt is getting their attention is because it's louder in their life. And yet I can look at my dreams and what's most important to me, and I downplay that. You know what I'm saying? Like we downplay how big God is. We downplay our human potential. We downplay what's actually possible. I watched Iron Cowboy this last weekend. He did 50 triathlons in 50 days in 50 states because he wanted to understand what his true potential was all about. He was willing to push the limits on what was possible. Do you know that we will never know what's really possible if we don't push our limits? Do you know that your dreams will never manifest if you don't crank the volume on them and take every single day as a way to move towards them? Do you know that? So here's what you have to understand. You have to turn the volume up. One of my favorite quotes says, did you really have a bad day, or did you just have 10 or 20 minutes where your thoughts ran undisciplined and that led to a bad vibe and that let you carry away? Come on, bro. You run this show. Pay attention. Pay attention. It's time to crank the volume. I am with you. I encourage you to put your dreams and your vision and the truth and scripture and all of the things around you morning, noon, and night, morning, noon, and night, morning, noon, and night, and don't stop. Crank it. Turn it louder. Turn it louder. Speak it with your mind. Get people around you who will reinforce you, who will support you, who will promote the things that you're about. And don't apologize for being loud. Don't apologize for living with your whole heart. Don't apologize for chasing your dreams. Don't apologize for being crazy about your kids. Don't apologize for being crazy in love with your husband. Don't apologize for the fire of God that you have. Don't apologize for the world that you want to create. Don't apologize for being a change agent and a do-gooder in this world. Don't apologize. So if you needed the permission today to turn the volume up on your life, permission granted. Get loud. That's my commitment this week. I'm going to get loud. I'm going to get louder than the unbelief. I'm going to get louder than the doubt. I'm going to get louder than the fear. I'm going to get louder than the things that I see around me. Because when I do, I'll take the things that are within me and I'll put them in the world around me. So join me today in getting loud. And do me a favor. Send this to 1 or 2 people who need to get loud too. Forward this on. Let them know they are not alone, that what they want, the world wants, that what is on the inside of them to bring, the world is waiting. The heaven that they're connected to, that the earth is waiting. That the dark areas, they need the light turned on. Remind them. Spread the word. Help me light the fire on the inside of all of us so we can shine the light on the world around us. Permission granted. Get loud. And then tomorrow, if you're sitting there, you're like, wait a minute, what about if I'm stuck? What if I don't know what I want? What if I don't know if I'm clear? Well, then tune in tomorrow. We're going to talk about getting quiet. The complete opposite of the strategy that I just shared with you. Both are valuable. Both are necessary. And both are really better for the person that's in the state that they're in. To each their own. Do you today. Get loud.